we have time to do the spin the wheel.
Okay.
Okay, let me just share screen.
Okay.
You can choose to answer the questions in any way that you are comfortable with,
Okay.
right? And basically, these are questions that are, I guess it makes us think, and also, like whatever the first thing that comes to your mind. So let's spin. This is also for people to get to know you better.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, when was the last time you surprised yourself?
That's interesting. Wow, there's quite a few things. Maybe about a year ago. That no, sometimes when you are so busy with work, and then you're already so into my work. I mean, I've been a chiropractor for the last 15 years, and it's like quite small selling, and every day the routine is like the same thing, like coming to work, and just like most of us, right? And then of course, with new things that's happening, I saw a new demand for new services, like for example the posture exercise program. I kind of found the motivation to learn something new, and then despite it being very tiring, I found the drive and motivation to just plow through it, even in the night, because the training is quite rigorous. I have to go for practical sessions, and even also having to sit in with the trainer.
Okay.
And even then, well, at the end of the day, it's very, very tiring, but then I found that I still have the energy and the desire to want to learn something new.
Okay. That's nice. Hi, Alina.
Hello. Better late than never. Nice to meet you, Kelvin.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
Sorry, I didn't even think I'd make it back in time for anything.
Yeah, but you made it. That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Sorry.
It's okay. We just started the spin the wheel.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and Kelvin's question was, when was the last time you surprised yourself? So he had an interesting sharing where he shared, I'll let you listen to it when it's out. Yeah. So what we do here, Kelvin, with the spin the wheel is that we do take turns.
Okay.
So you also get to know us through this. Do you want to go first, Alina, or you want to wait?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you go. Let me share the screen. So, Alina's turn. What does home mean to you now? You just rush home.
Yeah, it's where your heart is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to think that it meant security, four walls, a home where that you weren't going to leave from. But no, home can be anywhere. It's where you feel content.
Yeah, that is true. I agree. Let's go.
Your turn.
My turn. What advice do you secretly wish someone had given you 10 years ago? 10 years ago? 10 years ago, I was in my 40s. I wanted to say, for someone to tell me to start therapy sooner. As in psychotherapy, much, much sooner. But I also think that even if that advice was given to me, the timing may not be right, because sometimes we don't discover things about ourselves until later, right? And so it's harder. Even if I started therapy, to be fair, I started therapy since I was 21, but there was a break, and then after I only went into therapy after the bad marriage. So if I had started during the marriage itself, I think it would have changed the trajectory quite a bit. Yeah. So that would be more than 10 years ago, I would say. Yeah. Okay. we're back to Kelvin.
Okay.
Ooh, if you could gift everyone at midlife one thing, what would it be?
Wow, that's interesting. I guess I would give them some advice, because everybody is always spending time in their office and with all the bad setup. If there's one thing I can give them is to give them some advice as to how they should be setting up their computer the right way and breaks. And then, life is not just about chasing goals. You need to take a break, pamper yourself, step away from work and recharge yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, the posture, right?
I think this is it's a never-ending story because, for so long as you are awake and you are working on your computer or maybe your smartphone, that is going to be a problem. Maybe most people won't feel it now, but in months or years to come, they're going to feel a lot of neck and back pain.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are feeling it in their midlives already.
And these days, there's one other thing that is quite interesting. It's called the digital dementia. Have you heard about that?
The what, sorry?
The digital dementia.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, where, if you spend too much time looking at maybe iPad, chasing on Netflix or doing nothing but just staring at the computer, you then start to maybe become a bit forgetful, you get depressed, you become so secluded. That also can cause a lot of spine problems. Like you can be tucking your neck forward, and then your eyeballs are gonna get elongated, and your vision is gonna get affected.
Yeah.
One advice is always take a break from the screen every hourly. Especially for those midlife people.
Yeah.
Always staring at their handphone. Like you mentioned, first thing in the morning when you get to work, you're on the train, you're staring at your handphone.
Yeah.
Then you get to work, you're staring at your laptop.
Yeah.
Then the next thing when you get back to the train to get home, you're staring at your handphone again.
Yeah.
So, just look up, look ahead of you, and take a break from all these screens.
Yeah. It's bad, right? I noticed this yesterday. I was on a train and every single person was on the mobile phone.
Yeah. So take a break from the posture and then save your posture, save your brain as well, I guess.
Yeah. Digital dementia, that's an interesting one, yeah?
That's one of the topics that I talk about quite a fair bit.
Okay. We'll put a link and direct people to your website. People need to know more about this.
Yeah.
So let's go. Alina.
Tamala. Oh. There's lots of things I know now that I didn't know back then. I don't know. I think it comes with, as we get a bit older, our confidence, it grows. And it's not an ego, it's more of an understanding, and it's more of an assurance or reassurance, or I don't know, it's a knowing, I suppose, that I don't know, I can't really answer that because I can't say I know for sure now that I didn't before. I know now I'm divorced that I didn't know that was going to happen. But and that life goes on. I don't know. I can't really answer that exactly.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get where you're coming from, because it's hard to know, right? What we know for sure, because things are not, fixed. Like it's not concrete.
No, and like what you said, if you didn't make those choices or those decisions, back in time, it might not have led to where you are now.
Yeah, that's a difficult question.
Yeah, it is a difficult one.
Thanks, team.
It is a difficult one.
Okay, your turn, Shamala.
My turn. Let's go. What's my midlife motto these days? These days would be do what makes me feel happy, and even if others around me may silently disapprove or they may be loud about the disapproval, I'll still do it. I mean, we've got half our lives left. There's
never know
no
what's
time.
going to happen tomorrow, right?
Sorry?
Never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly, right? So just do it, whatever it is that makes me happy. Yeah. Do you have time for one more, Kelvin?
Yes.
Okay, let's do one more.
Sorry, I've been missed.
Hi!
This is Chachi.
Hi, Chachi. Oh. What's a role you've outgrown and aren't looking back on?
Wow. I guess this is a bit is a difficult one. With our parents getting old, it came to a realization, that when parents were younger, you may have been slightly different. Like for myself, for example, maybe I have my perspective has changed. Like previously, I wasn't as good a son as I was, and then because now that my parents are getting old and then they start to have health issues, we start to look at things in a different way. Like whatever things that may have happened in the past, we should just move on. You shouldn't have a grudge, and then those are times that are lost that you can't get back. So from being someone who maybe had some grudges earlier, and now I've outgrown it, and then I've opened up and have a different perspective to think that life is short, and how long more do our old folks have? And the best is to just put things aside and be the best child, best son or daughter you can be.
Yeah.
And also because recently my in-laws just passed away, and it just kind of dawned on you that wow, I mean we have done all we can, but then it's also a lesson to us to know that you never know when your candle is going to blow out. And just like you say, live your life to the fullest and be the best you can, and treat everyone else as best as you can. You have no regrets. So I guess I've outgrown my maybe self from being a bit of being judgmental to now to be a bit more open-minded and always give people the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. I think, looking at our parents aging really hits home, because these are people who cared for us when we were young, right? And when you watch them age, like, they're getting old, they're getting weak and feeble, it just throws you off, right? I mean, when you have that realization,
And especially when you have things like dementia setting in, and physically they are very limited now. So they are different from when they were younger. We could go for holidays, And now their life is basically just confined to one small area, maybe just at home. And they can't go for holidays, so it's quite sad in a way.
It is. Yeah, my mom has dementia. So, Okay. Alina? What's a daily choice that's quietly transforming your life?
Just keep your focus. For me, it's about not getting caught up and overwhelmed in emotional things that could really bring you down if you let it. Like, it can be overwhelming. So it's important to feel them, but not to be overwhelmed by them. So it's sort of learning to take a step back and then just keep things simple. And as you know, my life has changed in lots of different ways lately. So for me to stop comparing for where I was and seeing that I'm not a failure, but I'm not where I was.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to make, steps ahead now, and they're only small steps, but they're still small steps forward. So whenever that pops up, I just acknowledge it, but I don't get caught up in it, and I just keep focused and just have small little steps each day. Keep it simple.
Okay.
But 20 years ago, it would have been completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having the wisdom from in the aging process does help. We quiet down and we do what's right by us.
Yeah. I think you learn from others as well.
Oh yeah, we definitely do. Yeah.
Your turn.
Let's go. Last one. Ooh. What's a boundary that's changed your life? Well, I'm a boundary queen, right? I have very strong boundaries since I was young. For me, it was like a protective mechanism, right? Because of what I went through in my life. So, but that boundary definitely, has changed, or how I see boundary at that point was like a protection. So it was a very hard boundary. No one comes close, right? And as I work on myself, the boundary has softened. It's not so hard, and it's doing its job of protecting me, but not in a way that is pushing people away. It's more like what is appropriate with whoever, and with different people you adjust your boundaries differently, and knowing how to adjust them and move them accordingly. So that definitely has changed. And with some other people, the boundaries even stronger, because you go like, no, no entry, right? So I wouldn't say one particular boundary. So the question is, what's a boundary that's changed? I think everything is evolving. So that how I exercise boundary has changed for sure. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. This was fun, Kelvin.
I enjoyed myself too.
Yeah. We hope.
I'm going to take a selfie.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. All right. You ready? 3, 2, 1, cheese.